All right, here we are to correct the first portion of Buckle Down Unit 3. We're looking at questions 1 through 22 today. Remember that this is a review mostly of chapters 3 and 7, the algebra chapters. There is a good deal of order of operations thrown in here as well, which was technically chapter 1, but we know it applies throughout all of our chapters. So let's, as always, feel free to pause, rewind. I'm going to go rather quickly to get through this. This video should be viewed after you've completed questions 1 through 22. Okay, so looking at number 1, what's the value of x in this equation? To solve, you would need to divide by 4 on both sides. You would get an answer of b, 1 1/2. Looking at number 2, what math term describes 7? That is the coefficient. Remember chapter 3, we had lots of vocab. Coefficient is the number that is attached to that variable. Number 3, I went ahead and I wrote it up here. We had to choose the equivalent expression to this one. Okay, so when we look at equivalent expressions, we need to decide, do they have the same value? If we knew what x and y were, would we end up getting the same exact answer? Okay, so what we can do when we have a question like this is we can start looking at, can we combine like terms? Can we get our x's together? Can we get our numbers together? Can we get our y's together? Okay, that will give us a simplified expression, but it'll also give us an equivalent expression. Okay, so if we take a look at number 3, I'm looking at this x here and these x's here. Okay, notice I have repeated addition signs here. I'm going to be adding everything up. So I've got 2 x's and 3 more x's. So in all, that would give me 5 x's. Okay, I also have a 12 here and a 13 here. Okay, both of those are just regular numbers, so you can actually combine those. Okay, and then the y, so lonely. It's all by itself. We can't combine it with anything. It does not have a like term. So if we were to combine our x's, if we were to combine our numbers, and then there's our y. Okay, so 5x plus 25 plus y. The order itself doesn't necessarily matter. We're adding. So that's letter D. That would be your correct answer, would be D for number 3. In number 4, you have to plug in 3 for n, and then remember your order of operations. You have to first square it. You'd then be doing your multiplication. Finally, 20 minus that. Okay, so you get an answer of A, 2. Looking at number 5, which inequality represents this book report situation? It says here that the book report must be more than 4 pages. So that would be D. B is greater than 4. B is representing the book report. It has to be greater than 4 pages. Number 6, again, you need to remember your order of operations. You first have to add what's in those parentheses. Then you are going to square that. You have to do the other multiplication of 3 times 2. And then finally, you're subtracting. That is your last step in this question. So you would get an answer of 19, which is choice C. Number 7, this was lesson 7.4, which we actually skipped, so you get a pass on this one. If you want to know the answer, D is your dependent variable and G is your independent variable. Basically, the distance that they're traveling depends on how many gallons of gas they have. Okay, but we did skip that lesson. Looking at number 8, you should have an open dot at 6, and your arrow should be going off to the right. In number 9, again, order of operations, you would get an answer of 25. Starting with the multiplication, you'd then do the addition, then the subtraction. Looking at number 10, Brendan hit 4 more home runs than last year. If H is what he got last year, how could you write this year? It would be H plus 4, or 4 plus H. Either one of those is fine. Number 11, I think we should probably write here. It says to write an equivalent expression to 4 parentheses x plus 7y. I'm going to use distributive property here because, remember that from chapter 3? It's lending itself here. It's combining both multiplication with addition. So this would be 4x. This would be 28y. You need to make sure that you are writing that you're multiplying each and every term within those parentheses. All right, number 12 is another one that I wrote up here. It's asking, are these equivalent? So your answer is going to be a yes or a no, but we need to do some work with whether or not they're equivalent. So again, very similar to number 3, I'm going to look at, can we combine any like terms, okay? I see n's and I see numbers. So in the first example, I've got a 4n, a 2n, and another 2n. All together, that gives me 8n. Okay, and then I see a 2. It'd be plus 2. Okay, in the second example, I see a 2n, a 2n, and a 2n, which altogether gives me 6n. I already know they're not the same. 6n, and then a 4. Okay, so these are not the same. If we knew what n was, if we wanted to test it out and plug in a value, we would notice we would not get the same answer here. Oh, I'm kind of off the screen. There. So your answer for 12 should be no. Okay, looking at number 13, what is the solution here? You've got to get x by itself. This is technically lesson 7.7, which we haven't gotten to. You would solve this just like an equation. So you would want to divide both sides by 3, giving you an answer of x is less than 6. Number 14, you have to translate the phrase into math. 13 less than g. You have to start with g and subtract 13. Okay, so g minus 13. 13 less than g. Okay, and number 15, Emily determined that the value for z was 3. Is she right? No, she is incorrect. If you substitute 3 there, you'd have 3 times 3 is 9, not 3 times 3 is 3. Okay. Number 16, again, that's from lesson 7.4, which we skipped. It would be the independent variable. You don't know that yet. We skipped it. In question 17, if you put 8 in for x, and then do the math, don't forget, follow that order of operations, you would get 13 as an answer. In number 18, you would end up with, Ira has less than 40 minutes to finish his homework. Write an inequality to represent how much time he can use to finish his homework. He has less than 40 minutes, so his minutes, has to be less than 40. Okay. 19, using the same terms, write an equivalent expression. So the same terms means you need to have a 3, a 7, and a 4 in that expression that you're writing. You can't combine terms, which would still be an equivalent expression, but it's telling us we have to use the same terms. So what I wrote, I just shifted the parentheses using the associative property. I just shifted it so that the parentheses were, that's bad glare, around the 7 and the 4. Okay, I still have the 3, I still have the 7, I still have the 4. Number 20, solve for Q. Q would be 9. In number 21, what 2 factors? Remember, factors are things we multiply. So your answer would be 2a, that's one of the factors. And what are we multiplying that by? We're multiplying by what's happening inside those parentheses, 3 plus 6. And then in number 22, write an expression that's equivalent. Again, I combined like terms. If what I have here is, I'll write it here, running out of space. If what I have here is, there we go. What number is this? 22. If what I have is B plus C plus C plus 2B, okay, again, I want to combine like terms. So B's belong with B's, C's belong with C's, numbers belong with numbers, which we don't have any. So checking out the B's, I've got 1 here, I've got 1 here. It's understood that they're 1. There isn't a coefficient of 1, but it's understood that they're singular. So 2 there and 2 more here. So in all, how many is that? 4B, okay? And then we're adding, again, we have that repeated addition. We've got 2 C's there. Okay, so we would have 2C. Okay, so your equivalent expression, or one equivalent expression you could write, is 4b plus 2c. If you have them flip-flopped, that's fine. Okay, so again, you can go back and relook. That the order of operations is huge. There's quite a few questions here that depend on that, so you need to remember the hierarchy, the stepping stones of what you do first and in what order. So tune in tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Thursday, for the second portion. And again, that MCAS review, MCAS prep, MCAS Q&A is scheduled for 2 o'clock today. So I will be in touch.